Hello everybody, get comfortable, have a seat. You're going to have fun, it's okay to laugh, right? Not at me all the time, but just we'll enjoy this. Okay? My name is Jim Charlton. You don't see anything else on here, right? I do other things in life, but I'm here representing a student from Mace Tech, right? You see the blue shirts around? They're my family. And that's what this should be, right? It's not software that we keep to ourselves and anything else. If you want this sucker to grow into the future, this is a family. Sometimes we're a disgruntled family. Sometimes we keep commands to ourselves. Sometimes we hide programs and don't tell anybody about them. And sometimes you delete all the product names in a warehouse. They don't like that, right? But as long as you know how to put them back, you're okay. So, I used to work for Frito-Lay. I was the top business manager. I drove a truck. So the people that use our software, I started out on the truck. I got into a car accident in 1995. I saved a lady's life by cutting my truck to the left. I hit a guardrail. There is now 6 metal plates in my neck. If you have a bad Wi-Fi signal, stand over here near my neck. You'll be okay. I charge, because this resort's Wi-Fi is a little bit off. Changing and getting into this world. To pick family, the way it's written and everything else was the easiest conversion for a non-programmer. When you read it, it makes sense. So how I started out, when I got hired by a technical company, they said, oh, you know computers. I just graduated from tech school after 9 months. I see you work in food service. I work for Frito-Lay. They thought the two of them went together and made sense. And like, this guy would be great with computers, and it's in a food service company. Like, okay. I went in and I listened to my boss, and I watched what he did. And I mirrored it, but it wasn't teaching like back and forth. I was watching over his shoulder. The biggest change came when somebody asked me for color on a report. There you go. So they sent me to a class for report writer, and I learned how to get the regular data out. I'm a non-programmer, but it makes perfect sense. I'm just reading it like, this makes sense. I know what that's doing. But there's no color in this system. We wanted in Excel, and we called it the Easter egg report, because they wanted all the colors, they wanted it sorted, and they wanted it added up. Nobody could do it in Pick. Back in my office was an old program called Monarch. Anybody know it? There you go. They sent me to a class, and I'm sitting next to a guy that does, works on a Navy destroyer. And he's like, what are you here for? Like I was in jail or something. I'm like, I gotta get color on a report. What are you here for? He's like, I want color on my report too. Okay. So we take the raw data. We're in class. I kept hearing the guy teaching it had a beret. I kept saying tertiary every other word, right? And this guy that's teaching it, I'm listening, going, I'll look up that word when I go back to my room. And this looks pretty simple if I could just take the raw, bring it over to Monarch, let it sort it, and add it up. I did it within 3 days. I go back, and the next thing I know, I'm the boss. That's all you wanted? So, presentation and showing what we have, it's a workhorse underneath, right? It can power and run systems forever, but we get killed all the time on its beauty, right? So if you can't see the beauty in the green screen, somebody's going to ask you to do a bolt-on. But we're smart people, we'll figure it out. Eventually, when you get to the point of going, hey, too many bolt-ons, I can't keep up with it. Let's use AI to help us get to the next level, right? I got programmers that retired 20 years ago. Some of them have passed away. You can't ask them, what did you do? Well, maybe AI goes, Bill was drinking that day, and apparently he wrote something that still works, but this is what I think it is. Imagine if something could give you a head start, right? Not doing the work for you, give you a head start, or look back in history and tell you what it thinks happened. Don't ignore the new tools, right? So, speaking of older things, I want to see if anybody knows what this is.
Looks like a pinball machine.
I see some mouths dropping. Any clue?
Zigzag.
Space Invaders. Heresy. Predates. Nobody. Okay, good, because that's what happened to me. So, I'm a child of the 80s, and if you were a cool kid, in your basement, your pool table and everything else, family might have Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Donkey Kong, Galaga. Ask one of these. These machines were probably $3-4 grand. But one machine. My father, I loved him to death, right? He comes home with that. And we had to lift that into the house. And I'm going, what did you get? I got you a video game. You said you wanted a video game, I got you a video game. Okay, we set it up, and it's got tubes in the back, and a television repairman had to come fix it.
Yes.
And you had to put your allowance in it. So my quarters were in there, my dad locked it, right? So to even play it, I had to pay, and it was in my room. I started to get bored with it, and my parrot decided to live on the top of it and poop in the bottom of it, right? So this machine, soak it all in. Nobody has recognized it yet. Read what it was that was in my room that I didn't know I had. First video coin-operated game ever made.
Whoa.
That my dad brought for me, and I pooped all over it. Right? It wasn't Space Invaders, it wasn't this. I had no idea what I had. His buddy that he gave it to knew what he had, because I think he sold it years later. We still haven't gotten a commission. But the machine, apparently, if anybody remembers, was in the movie Soylent Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
It
the
does
movie,
have
yeah.
a look.
So maybe that's doing the trigger, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see it.
I didn't think,
So, what's that?
I didn't think that was real in the movie.
Oh, trust me,
I
it's
thought it was a
real.
movie prop.
Yeah, Parrot sat great on the top until he would slide off. But it was just something in my room that I didn't understand, right? And I did not know what I had. So just keep that in mind. You don't know what you got till it's gone. So as everybody starts talking negative or anything else coming at you, know that you're living on top of a workhorse, right? It is still powering the world. You just got to make it prettier or get people to understand its beauty. You look across here. We started out with a joystick and one button. I will tell you that if I play with my kid, I'm looking down at the controller to remember which one's the X and the B. I don't know, but they don't look down at all, right? They're playing and they're in it. But you will see a grandfather and a grandkid hanging out together, so we can bridge the gap. You just got to be able to share your knowledge. Now, you see this giant man over here? I would say that I'm his mentor, but sometimes I'm the mentee. We start swapping ideas back and forth. It's not a one-way transmission, right? They will show you the respect that you deserve. Show the same respect back. Once you get to that level of sharing, the knowledge comes out in ways that you will not expect. And you have fun. So as we're sharing PIC and everything we've done with it, like this is a school. How about we have a class project, right? So I donate $500 to the school. If you've seen Saul walking around with this strapped on his arm, and he didn't take much about it, that was on purpose to get you here, right? So before the classes started, everybody's like, I don't want to put PIC on my system. I don't want that messing it up. The next day, the kids, this week, right? All of a sudden, they've got it. So he's going to unplug it, switch over. I'm going to buy some time. 5, 4, 3. There we go. Now, anybody recognize that in the corner? Blue screen?
Nice.
There we go. So they surprised me, right? I'm the old man, and they put the Commodore 64 on there. They put PIC on there, right? Now I can't see this shit, it's too small. Sorry, Rose, I said it first. Right? So small, they're walking around, he's got a mini keyboard in his back pocket, and he's playing around with it. But then I challenged him. Does anybody know the game Raid Over Moscow? Nobody remember the Commodore 64 days? The complicated games that they have today, that they're flipping around, doing everything with this, how hard was it to get out of the hangar and raid over Moscow?
I'm still trying to get out.
So a game from 1989 was still challenging enough. Remember that? So, once it would come up, you would get this in high school, right? We're playing back and forth. But the game was challenging, and it didn't have great graphics or anything else, but it had skill, and we had something to bond over, right? That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for somebody to take it from the garden hose how we were taught, right? And by the way, the green garden hose water tasted better than the blue. Just saying. 1984, I remember that screen. They surprised me and just did it the next day. That's what you're looking for, right? The older team has the knowledge, we're passing it on to the younger team, but when they hear it coming out from us, they can have a new idea. Like, hey, do you guys know this software that's out there? And I'm like, yeah. And then he pops up something, I have no idea what he's talking about. We're a fan of Fallout. Anybody a Fallout fan? Woo! All right. So, we had named this the Pick Boy, right? So, what he has strapped onto his arm is the Pick Boy, and it runs the Pick system. It runs the Commodore 64. What else did you put on that side?
Everything like we have our Discord, just like everything. Yes.
And all it took was a little seed money and some inspiration. And then they come back and start asking questions, right? And then you start to exchange back and forth, and it gets better. So if we're over here going, we've got it all, and we know how we were taught, it's not how do we teach it, how do we communicate together and pass it on. They have some good jokes, I have some good jokes, right? Just fun back and forth and keep it in a learning experience. I've never had more fun in school since I've been teaching compared to what I left. So if you want to pass on the knowledge, that's the key. The knowledge is all here, but you got to decide if you want to pass it on, right? If you want to hold it back and wait, we're not going to grow and develop. If you're not going to share, you're not going to grow and develop. And if they want to tell you something, it might already be done by the time they tell you. I can't tell you, hey, it'd be great if we had something. I get to show you off at the end. But we're not there yet. How much time have I used so far?
You have 43.
I have 43 minutes. Oh, my word. What's that I said? Switch me back. Switch me back. Okay. Oh, perfect. So, the Pip Boy, you know what it is. I just told you what the Pick Boy is. But does anybody know what the Pro Glove is? That's not Pro Glove, Pro Glove. Anybody know what the Pro Glove is? No? Okay. I didn't get any money from them, so I'm not going to say the company that did it. But look up Pro Glove. If you took all of our commands in the background and you went into a warehouse, the Pro Glove can actually run multi-value on it. And it's got a sensor on the top. It's got a nice little screen, and it'll take the green screen, and I've actually seen it direct a person through the warehouse of where to pick. It's got the scanner on the top. You can zap it, you go, am I in front of the right product? Hey, can I take a picture? What am I picking? Now it's got a picture of the product from the website that we're linked to, so the person knows what they're picking. It even has an accelerometer in it that if somebody fell off a forklift, it will tell somebody back on the safety side that somebody is home, and they can't get up. But everything that it can do is still using the workhorse in the background. Bolt-ons are not bad, you just got to maintain them. We constantly hear words, we get in trouble, oh, it's a bolt-on, it's a modification, it's this, and you get criticized for it. You go, well, how are you going to grow if you don't modify it? Right? You want to just sit there and say, that looks great. If you can't keep up with the business, everything gets modified. I don't know if I spelled Bueller right, but I got programmers in here, so somebody will tell me.
Programmers can't spell.
Did we show off everything from the pickboard? All right, now, first one was on my personality. Who wrote that? AI. So, I sit there and I dump all this information in. And then it comes back with that. And I go, that's not my personality. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave it. So you can see the difference, right? When you start utilizing AI to help you get through your presentations, move quicker and everything else, you got to spell check, double check, all this stuff. Because it'll throw something in there that can get you in trouble. But I was looking at it, I'm like, this is boring as hell, but it's true. Right? So everything here is true. Those pictures it grabbed, look at the first images that stood out and were exciting. Right? This is all true. Anybody feel awake? You got nostalgia. You got how we got here. But nobody's inspired. Right? You're going, oh, look at the chords. Right? Oh, remembered how heavy that thing was. Right? Remember when they didn't have projectors and some jerk asked you to carry a 30-inch monitor up the steps to be able to show a program off because they didn't want to pay for the big screen. Disclaimer's loud. So this is what we lived in and we got through. But what they can't explain is how is it still running? Right? They'll love to insult it, they'll love to smack it around, but you go, did we ship last night? Yeah. Did the trucks go out? Yeah. But you're having a hard time enticing new people because they think it's old and ugly. But it works, right? That's a hard question to answer. By them, they can't tell us. They're having a hard time in HR enticing people to come here because it looks old, it looks ugly, it looks that there's a beauty to it if you can see it. And I will tell you the two things that I throw at people, not physically. Right? Think about John Wick. What computer system is he sending out the hits on? Anybody?
It.
Close. Remember the first screen with the Commodore 64?
Yep.
Commodore 64, VIC-20, they're all in the pictures, right? So they send out the hits. But that's not getting hacked, is it? It's not getting hacked because it's old and nobody hacks it, or it was so good it couldn't be hacked? Right? So you can give it a compliment. Now you got the old and the new. Do you like John Wick? Do you like seeing the green? Did you like the Matrix? That's us. Right? What do you mean? That's us. All right. Die Hard a Christmas movie or not?
Yes.
Christmas. If I strapped explosives to an LCD monitor and threw it down the shaft, would it explode? Liquid crystal, no, right? But what kind of monitor was it strapped to that made it explode? It's got three initials that he didn't know when I first met him. How do I teach it? CRT, remember? Die Hard. Went down, boom! Right? And then I send the meme of, welcome to the party, pal. Right? That's how I welcome people into the company. That's how you bridge it. It's not gone. It still runs the world no matter how much they try to beat it up or insult it. Right? But the knowledge that's here has to get into there. And we'll share the success together. That's what keeps it alive. Can't be afraid to share it. Right? And they're good people. They're not going to take it from you. They're not going to step on you and say, I know what he knew, so I'm going to go. No, it's sharing the knowledge. Sorry, it's or you're raising your hand. Good. Okay. All right. Multi-value still runs the world. Anything there that somebody does not believe? Right? It really did a great job of exciting everybody with pictures on the left, didn't it? I'm like, this is what we're hitting. It works, but the second part of my demo is exactly what the problem was. There's no flash, but it works. Right? It doesn't draw anybody in. Where's the vibrant colors? What was the first thing I was asked to do when I got hired? Can you put colors in this spreadsheet? Sure. What colors would you like? Which I got that wrong the first time. So, sorting it, funny story. Anybody know Click? Qlik? Click, the business software? Okay, so my team interfaces into Click. We're getting it all up and running. We've got it color-coded. We get a new CFO. We show it to him. He's like, this is great, but how can I tell which column's which? I'm like, can't you see the color? No, I'm colorblind. Things to ask your boss before you start. So, sorting. Everything else, what do? Everybody use the grayscale option if you're in Click. I suggest you find it, because that's what we did for colorblind people. But I had no clue what I was making for the new audience. What is your new audience? Right? How many people have killed a forest of blue bar trees? Right? I worked with a guy that actually looked like he had a fort behind all of his blue bar, but he could find anything in it. So he didn't need a BI tool. He could go over, flip over one report, find a number, put his finger on that one, and then flip another one, and get to the answer. That's not what people want today, right? So how do we give them color? How do we give them the ability to drill? Because I don't know about you guys, but if I'm in a demo and I put up here and say, we sold 500 gloves, there's going to be somebody that points and says, prove it. And then you click it and you go, that's a pair, that's not a single. How do you handle gloves? Unit of measure. Whole other problem. Everything has to be drillable now. Anybody in here got a good drillable tool that works with MV today?
Interesting.
One. Are you selling it or are you just in the back?
Yeah, we are.
All right, we found one.
Get forward.
Go see that man after class. Drillable tools, BI tools, being able to get down to the granular level. Nobody wants to just look at a flip report anymore. They will push it back to you, right? Exportable. Can I get this in Excel? Yeah, what about anybody here use commas in their product descriptions?
Yeah.
Anybody gonna admit it? All right. So all the things that can hurt us, right? Does anybody know what an up caret does when you put it on a label? I do. And it wasn't me. A vendor decided to put up carrots in their descriptions, and all of a sudden all the labels in everybody's warehouse. And then all the distributors called that vendor and said, you get that out of there right now. So the power of the commands that they don't know, and they just look at it and go, oh, it's a word, it's a description. How about auto extend? Has that hurt anybody in this room? So if you have auto extend turned on for one person in the company that you trust it for product description, but it gets hacked off on everybody else, you bring it over to a BI tool, just let me tell you, watch how fun it is to fix that. So they make us shut off auto extend. It worked great in the past, it does not help us in the future. We got to be careful about what tools we use that can still be in the background, but now we're bolting on and helping other programs for the stuff that multi-value does not have yet, or we haven't partnered with somebody yet to give us the next level of tools. So you're sharing data, you're protecting data, but tell me any slide that I have hit that's excited you since AI tried to figure out what we do.
Sorry. Come on.
Maybe this one, I don't know.
This has got people.
Even the font's boring,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. So how do you give that sucker personality? Let it watch me for 10 years? You know, how is it going to learn? What's it going to do? What's it going to kick back? Don't think of it as a threat. Think of it as a co-pilot. No, I'm not for Microsoft, right? Utilize it. Get yourself halfway there. Don't be afraid of it. I can't figure out any notes from the guy that passed away, and I loved him dearly, but I have no idea what he did. If I go in and have AI come back and tell me, well, it looks like this guy was doing this. That's better than me having nothing. Right? Get yourself started. Use the tool. See what's out there. There's nothing to be threatened by. This is the hardest part. So, I have an ACE Tech student, like I said. He lives in my basement, and listen to that statement carefully. He was not forcibly put there. Right? But he has something different with mentor-mentee. When I help the school out with other things, it's just meeting on screen and talking back and forth. But when you're actually side by side with the next generation, I'm working outside and he built a whole gazebo with a lot of cursing that he fixed by the next day. He followed the instructions. After he told me there was no instructions in the 20 boxes, I said, did you look in box 1? They were in box 1. So after I got him started, I let him manage it and step back. You've got to watch them and let them make mistakes. They will learn. But they have to be able, you're the guardrail. You step back and you go, so you can't press that button because that's the way I erase the warehouse's descriptions. But you can mess with this program. And if you make a mistake, it's okay because that's how you learn. Right? So if we become mentors, mentees, going back and forth, just figure out what's the right thing to share. Right? When do you share? How do you start them out? How do you get them going? Because if we stand back and just go, I know the command that you don't know, it doesn't help us. But if you wrote something incredible years ago that you'd like to share, there is a generation of people that want to take it over. And they have had some hard times in life finding something that fits them. Right? A lot of people come out, they got cybersecurity certifications, they got Windows certifications, they got all this stuff. But the world needs the next generation of MD. And then management will look at it and say, well, nobody's taking the course. I'm like, well, go see that guy. Right? He doesn't do much advertising, and all of a sudden there's 26 students. There's 36 students. Like, where did they come from? Everybody, you mentioned what we're trying to do, and they want to jump in, they want to learn, and they want to be mentored. But you have to mentor in a way that there's communication. Right? Don't dump and run. Learn that for all of us to go forward, you got to be able to slow down to their pace, and they will teach you some amazing things that you think you know what you're doing. And a new piece of technology, I can't tell you. Where's Sabrina? There she is. All right. So I'm some smart guy. I'm 55 years old. I've managed companies over $600 million. I can't find something in my email. Sabrina takes it. Jim, did you look in the all? Wasn't there before. Right? All these tools that we haven't been keeping up with or paying attention to could blend. The #1 complaint we got when we were starting and getting school going was, I don't want to install PIC on my system, it'll screw it up. How fast did you guys get it off and a different way to access it? Hours. So the #1 complaint of, you'll mess me up by putting PIC on my system, I'm not putting it on there. They're like the next day, like, oh, we found a way around that. That's nice, smart pants. Does it work? Yes. Is the school using it? Yes. Now, you saw the PIC boy. It really exists, right? Hardware, software, the whole 9 yards. Anybody in here sit next to their boss? Okay. Keep your hand up if you hate your job. It's okay. So, we have something for you. A lot of times when I do conferences before, you get programmers, you get bosses, you get different, you don't know what people are looking for. But a lot of times people go back and they go, I judged it from an administration point of view, or I judged it from a programmer's point of view. If you're an admin and you've never done anything in PIC, we have a QR code that was set up that you can get in and play with PIC through a Discord server. So you're going to go back, if you are an admin, you want to show up to your program and say, look what I can do, right? And that came, now watch this. Anybody have a short-term memory problem? This man's name is Chase. I keep calling him Jasper. I have no idea why. But he lets me get away with it. He knows I'm not being offensive. I just don't know what I'm doing when I look at him. He created this, right, for the conference. I'm like, hey, could you do something that's kind of like the PIC boy? But people could leave with it and go home and play, or try it on the plane or mess around with it. Again, I hate them. Hours, they were done. So the QR code will get you out there. You will be able to play with it. You will be able to show it off. And if we can, Abe, is your game working?
Yeah, it's working.
Or act like it is?
No,
You want to show it off?
Sure.
How fast, when did you start making the game? Like, have you started MD, you're in the middle of getting it, and that fast you said, I can make a game?
Yeah, it was just to go over concepts. It was to go over the concepts and actually grasp MV basic. So learning how to do like case statements, creating like a random dice, and based off like the random dice, the number they would output, it would create a certain case. And based on that case, you would either have to fight a mutant, you would have to explore, find an item, and have an inventory system. So right now it's.
I started playing it already.
You start playing about it. Yeah, you're good. So,
You gotta work on the attention spans. Writing the demo is playing a game.
So right now it's like one of those text-based games. So you come across the bunker entrance, and all you gotta do is just like type you want to explore, or you want to enter. So I'll just go ahead and type explore here. And so far I didn't find anything, so I'll just try exploring just one more time. And enter. So I'll just didn't find anything. Fine. I'll just go ahead and enter the bunker. And there's a pit boy. He's going to go ahead and enter the bunker. So I also utilized some Axie art. So I would just get an image from the internet, and I would just convert it into some Axie art, so that way it can just make the game look a little bit visually better. So now you get into the game menu here. So there's operations command. So do you want to raid the bunker? Do you want to view your inventory? So I can very quick view my inventory. I have 100 health, and I haven't found any items yet. So I can just go ahead and press 1 and raid the bunker, and I found a flamethrower.
Nice.
All right, that's it. Let's go ahead and hit enter. Let's go ahead and keep raiding the bunker. So maybe we can get something else. Okay, there's another flamethrower. Let's go ahead and hit 1 again, and then the mutant is going to appear. So, okay, let's go ahead and engage this mutant. So let me press enter to continue. And it's going to show my inventory and my health first, and I have a flamethrower. So, okay, cool. Now, let me go ahead and choose my weapon from the inventory. I'll put number 3. And then just go ahead and find it there. And let's see, so now, oh, the flamethrower will one-shot a mutant, so it's just going to kill it. So the mutant has been eliminated. So, okay, that's good. So let me just raid again one more time. And I found a robot card. Okay, cool. Then I found another flamethrower.
They're on sale.
Yeah. And there's also health rations too, so that's pretty cool. So if I were to go back to my inventory, and I notice that my health, oh, it hasn't dropped, so I'm still good. But now my inventory has also been growing, so now I have a ration, I have 2 robot parts, and I have a flamethrower. So it's also, you know, keeping and persisting some data of what I can do. So let's see if I can just engage just one more mutant, so that way we can just complete the game. Hit 1, so it's just a random number generator, so I can grade it. RNG, yeah, they're not. Hit enter, exiting fallout. So, okay, I'll just go ahead and exit for now, though, since it wasn't able to engage the second one. But yeah, it's just pretty much, we also try to get our students to make some text-based games so they can learn MD basic, and then once they get a good grasp of basic, then they can start applying this over to MD, and actually start making their own programs to query data, read and write, and like that.
So you can do it, but how many people are teaching that way? Right? You gotta find, we are the living middleware. How do we get back and forth to talk to the next generation, explain it, get them excited? I will tell you a tip, if you could somehow tap into the card game magic and connect it to MD, we'll have students graduating into bundles. Because I've seen some brains that can go through a deck of cards and find out everything that thing does. But if you can connect it to this, the brain power is there. I want to sit on a porch and have a Bartles or James and tell Saul to type. Right? I just want to dump the knowledge, act like I know what I'm doing, walk away and go, I hope he's got it done by the morning. How much time we got? 20 minutes. Perfect. Questions? Without my own answers.
I didn't see the pick boy very well from back here. Can you
Want to
just
bring
hold it up?
the one that we made?
Okay.
But it's on an armband that he took off.
And the
He's getting sweaty.
purpose was to have fun as opposed to, it did not have a,
Have fun, and it's like by having fun versus just like, I'm gonna program and I'm gonna learn about how many bananas are in this grocery store. So but like Abraham over here came up and like, it's all about playing. So like learning how to have fun and play, and then we just get all these new ideas like, oh, what if you do this, if you do that, and then we're just like that's another conversation, but we're just in our channel and we're just like having fun. And that was the point of this, to have fun and like make it bring it in the physical world versus just in the digital all the time. So yeah.
So that's just a Linux box, right?
Yeah, it's a Raspberry Pi running Raspberry OS, and then I've got Docker on there too, and stuff else we can run it on there. Just to show the teacher, right?
It's Universe or?
Yeah, it's Universe.
Okay, so it'll run on just about everything. How about Deep Root? Try that.
We didn't try that yet, but
I only gave you $500, don't.
license. I don't
I'll give you a license.
We will be selling Pick Boys in the back. Spark that interest, right? They want to learn. When people say it's old and they don't care, they don't want to learn, they just can't learn the way we did, right? Because if you did, that's illegal now. So, I got some learning those marks in the back of my head. How you transfer the knowledge. So I'm 55 years old. I don't know what junior high was, but I tried to think about this the other day. What can I remember from junior high? There was a teacher that wore a shirt made of nuts and bolts and cowhide pants. I did not like to read. He made us read The Hobbit, but made it fun, and then the test was actually a game show. And he had chocolate bars for if you got it right. Right? I can remember that now. Why? He activated a different part of my brain.
Yep.
It's sunk in there. I learned it. I wanted to learn it. He made it fun. What teachers can you remember, the ones that didn't knock it out of your head, with a ring turned over? I remember Mr. Jaffe. He left a mark up there. But did I remember what he taught me? For the test, yes, but I can't recall today what he taught me. Right? So, there's nothing wrong with having fun at work. Just ask HR first. Right? Know what you can and can't do. There's still ways to have fun and not get in trouble. Because you enjoy your job does not mean you're not doing a good job. If the end result is something good comes out of it, don't care how they got there. Right? I don't care. I'm the king of summarization. I listen to people with ADHD. I listen to people that are on the spectrum. My son is on the spectrum. Love him to death. He's a voice actor. I will not coach him on how to talk to people or anything else. He gets paid to do it. But I walk by and go, that sounds cringy. Should I walk in there and say something? No, step back. That is not your lane. Right? I will also tell you that when he's doing some of the voices, I've been upstairs in meetings and I thought there was a little girl getting stabbed downstairs that he was doing a video game overlay. And it sounded real. And then I got a message on my phone. Sorry, Dad, practicing. Okay. So you got to know what we know. Share it and they'll share back.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? That's it. It's not mentor to mentee like, so do what I say. It's like, so this is what I do. Jim, here's a better way to do it. And you know what he likes to do? I can't read things when you change the screen to black and white lettering. And as soon as I pop into a meeting, I see it flip. And he's got a look on his face. So, sorry, Jim. What's back? Or you're having a meeting and a wizard hat appears out of nowhere on top of his head. You have to be able to look at him straight and tell him something he's got to do. And you're like, okay, Gandalf. I need this ready for the... And then all of a sudden, Roy looks really interesting with ladies' eyelashes because he'll flip them on me in the middle of a meeting. It's a serious meeting, but they break it up and make it fun. And guess what? The end result still works. Right? You got to find ways to pass it on. And if we don't work together, everybody here is selling software. This is a weird sentence. We're selling people. That doesn't sound right. We're representing and we're training people to run the software that you're seeing.
Yes.
You got to be able to get the knowledge into their heads. Right? And you don't make it through Roy's school without passing an ethics test. He's not letting people in there that are going to do something. They're trustworthy people. They're good people, and they want to learn. Go to the booth, and if you see flashlights, Spencer burnt them in my basement with a laser pointer. So if you stop over Ace Tech and you grab one before they're gone. You stop? Yeah, so if you didn't stop by and get some of these were in my basement, as we probably had, I don't know, my house runs on solar power, and I'm waiting to see how many mistakes he made, because I've not seen my bill yet, but he was down there burning flashlights before this trip. House did not burn down, the cat's still alive. Everybody pitches in, everybody's doing something different. If you haven't seen the torch, who's got the torch, Roy? Who's it trust with the torch?
It's at the table.
It's at the table. My brother printed that out on a 3D printer. He is a grumpy, retired police sergeant. He did a great job. But I saw all the misprints. I got all, when is this conference? When do you need this by? Here's the tracking on the UN. That better be good. And then I sent him back the picture of what Saul did after he put it together and painted it. He said, that is incredible. I had no idea it was going to look like that when it was done. So if you haven't seen the torch, that's old and new working together. And that's also the U.S. Post Office Service not getting it there in time. So did a great job. Don't want to say a rush job or anything else. It turned out incredible. Right? Everybody's pitching in and everybody's sharing knowledge. Speaking of sharing knowledge, if anybody's in Pennsylvania and ever wanted to learn how to throw a knife, that's what my hobby is. I live on a mountain with 2 acres, and I love to teach people how to throw knives, not at people. If you go to a sports bar, you throw an axe, you do that, that's nothing. I'll teach you how to throw a knife. It's fun, it's targeted, it helps you think. So if you've never done it before and you want to learn, stop by the table and ask me. I can tell you about that for hours.
Not something in a meeting, though.
That's called extracurricular activities that HR should not know about. But there's something about the noise when a knife hits. It makes a thunk. You know where now I got there? There you go. So here's why I teach it. I have had some times where I'm programming and doing stuff, and I am not having a successful day. Nothing is working. I go outside, and I am not allowed to come inside until I get a successful thunk. Right? Many of our jobs, some of the stuff broken for days, weeks, years, you don't get the feeling and the satisfaction of accomplishing something sometimes. You have to let it go home, sleep, and come back to it. My recommendation to you guys, if you don't have something, have a quick hobby or something that immediately gives you success. Because programming and doing everything else that we do to keep this world running, sometimes you just need to walk away from it. So my piece comes from throwing knives. Again, not at people. At log rounds. That's it. They're just in my backyard, and sometimes I just need to get away from this world. I go out. You want to impress somebody, throw a knife, watch it stick. Right? I got married. And 2 years ago, we actually had our wedding. We taught people how to throw knives in the backyard. My aunt, with a cane, threw a knife and stuck, and she jumped up. And she brags about it every Christmas. Remember that? Remember that? So, find your joy in life. Don't get stuck in thinking that this is, old or anything else. This runs the world, but inspire the next generation to take it from you and share it. That's what you need to do. That's the best line I got, so somebody clap for that.
Nice.
If I'm early and anybody's got questions, feel free. Remember that car accident I was in? I got to leave on the wall for a little bit.
You are right on time.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even go over the clock.
50 minutes.
Stop on by the H-Tech booth. I don't know who's there now.
Hey, what's
But
I don't know.
stop going in and say hello.
That was a lot of fun.
All right.
Thank you. Nice.
All right, y'all. Next one's tomorrow. Take care, everybody. God bless. Thank you for popping in.